Hello, welcome back to my channel, Life and Times Over 60. I'm Paula Beth, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you've stopped by. And if you're a returning viewer, I'm so glad you're here again. It's great to see you. It really is, so thank you for coming back and viewing my video. Okay, so what am I up to today? What have I been doing? And where am I? Well, let's start. I'm actually in the TRH Mijas Hotel in Mijas Pueblo in Spain, which is not far from Malaga. And it's quite a nice little hotel. It's very traditional Spanish. And I'm here on my own and it's quite nice. Yeah, it's good. I have came away with a specialist holiday group which caters for solo travellers. And it's been, shall I say, interesting. So you get to meet a lot of different people, and they also take you on various excursions which are included in the holiday price. And that's been really interesting. It's been very nice. I've enjoyed them. Okay, so today, what have I done? I've actually done nothing at all. Nothing. And I think when I got up, I just didn't really know what to do. There wasn't a trip planned, there was no excursion planned. And so some people were going off, with friends they'd made within the group. And some people were just not doing anything. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. The weather has been very hot here. It's around about 36 degrees. And I just didn't fancy going walking in that kind of heat. It's just not for me. I'm quite pale and I do burn quite easily. So I didn't fancy getting all hot and bothered walking around, going to Fuengirola or somewhere, probably not pronouncing that right, sorry. So I decided just to stay at the hotel. So in the morning, I just did an hour or two sunbathing. Spent most of that time under a parasol because it was roasting. I could feel myself, I could feel my skin frying, and it's not me anymore. I just cannot stay out and sunbathe. I mean, there's a lot of people, around the pool in the hotel that are absolutely mahogany coloured, and the skin looks like the skin of an elephant. It's so wrinkled and, oh, it's horrid. But that's their choice. If you want a deep tan, that's the price you pay. It's not for me. But I did stay under the parasol and it was really nice. So I just read my book, and I find it quite hard actually just to sit still, just sitting still doing nothing. It's not easy for me at all. I feel like I've got to be doing something all the time. But I did manage to sit still and I read, about 20 pages of my book. I'm actually reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and it's really good. So yeah, I did that. Had an ice cream, had a Coca-Cola. That was nice. And then after that, I just went back to my room. I just felt tired. I think it's with all the other excursions we've done, and also with the sheer amount of socialising. I'm simply not used to socialising with so many people. There's like 40 people on this group. It's quite a big group. So I'm not used to being around that many people, not just socialising, the small talk and the chat. Oh, it's it's quite wearing. It's really tiring. So yeah, there's a lot of people in the group. So today I just thought, you know what, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm just going to stay at the hotel. So I came back to my room and I had what they always have in Spain, a siesta. So I just fell asleep. I think I was asleep for about 3 hours. So I thought, well, you know what? I must have needed it. So that's fine with me. And then after that, I read my book again. So I've been on my own today, but it's been okay. I've actually enjoyed my own company, and that's what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to enjoy my own company, because before, of course, my husband Glyn was always here. And I tell you what I've brought, just show you, I've brought one of his t-shirts with me, which, yeah, it's probably, you know, I don't know, is it daft? I don't know. But I just wanted to bring one of his t-shirts. So I did want to bring more of his clothes, but I thought, no. So I've just brought just one of his t-shirts. It's like a comfort blanket for me. So yeah, so Glyn's here with me in spirit. So yeah, it's getting on for evening meal time now. So I'm gonna be going down for my evening meal. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do after the evening meal. I don't know if I want to go into Mijas Pueblo. I've actually been there about 4 times. I've walked around it quite a few times. It's quite small. There's a number of like squares. There's a main square, and then you go up a little bit further and there's another square, and then you go further up and there's the bull ring. I will put these videos on my YouTube channel once I get home. What I may do actually is try and edit them, see how what I'm like at editing. Yeah, so that's something for when I get home. So this holiday, you know, it's a solo holiday. It's me on my own with a group of strangers. Would I do it again? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I might do. I don't think I'd come back to this location again. When I go on holiday, I do like to be beside the seaside, and I do like a nice promenade to walk along. But here, because it's up in the mountains and it's quite hilly, there's no promenade to walk, and it's quite it feels very close. You know, the heat is quite oppressive, whereas I think when it's quite warm and you're by the sea, it doesn't feel quite as hot and oppressive. And of course, having a nice promenade to walk along is something I really enjoy. But here I feel a bit stuck. So I don't know if I'd come back here again. But the hotel is nice. It's nice. It's a very old hotel. It's certainly not a 5-star hotel. The food, it's buffet meals, breakfast and evening meal. I'd say the food is average. I think wherever you go, you know, if you stay at a hotel and it's buffet style meals, the food just tends to be average, and it's pretty samey, you know, every day. I mean, I have eaten out, you know, for my lunch. That's been quite nice. I had a really delicious pizza yesterday. That was in Brigliana. I'm probably not pronouncing that one right either. But that was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The people who go on these tours, what can I say? Very varied. So they are solo tours, you know, aimed at solo travellers. However, it doesn't mean they're single travellers. They can still be married, but they're going on holiday on their own without their spouse or their partner. There's quite a few people who are widowed, like myself. Some people have very recently been widowed, so literally within the last couple of months, you know, so they're striking out on their own, going on holiday. There's also people who are separated, and there's a lot of people who actually know each other in this group. So I found it can be a little bit cliquey. The same people tend to spend time together all the time. But yeah, that's how it is. People pal up, with certain people they like, and then they spend the whole holiday with them. I've met a few people who I'm enjoying chatting with, but yeah, so it's pleasant. It's pleasant, yeah. So this is where I'm up to today, and I think this is actually I've got 2 more days left. So this is about day 6. I did say I would make a video every day, but I just haven't got round to it. I really haven't. I've done little snippets of videos, which, as I say, I'm going to try and edit them. What else can I say about this holiday? I think the thing for me is I feel very noticeable on my own. Even though everyone else is on their own, I'm really missing Glyn. I'm still at that stage of missing him terribly. Yeah, and something else I've realised is no one is going to hold your hand. No one is going to hold your hand. No one is going to sort things out for you. The way your husband did, or your partner. No. You're on your own. So whatever you want to do, if you go on holiday, those decisions are going to be yours entirely. No one's going to wait for you if you're, going round on these excursions. If you're late back, the bus will go without you. They won't wait. Whereas when you're with your husband, I never went on excursions like this. We just did our own thing, and we had the time to stay as long as we wanted. Where I feel these excursions are a little bit rushed. It's sort of, most of the time is spent travelling to the place wherever the excursion is, and then you've got literally an hour or an hour and a half. So you have your lunch, and then you have maybe half an hour to walk around, and then you're back on the coach again. So a little bit rushed. Not really my thing. As I say, I'm used to going on holiday with Glyn, my husband, and things are very different now. So yeah, taken a bit to get used to. So I'm going to leave it there. I've chatted long enough. So if you're still with me at this point, thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here. And I hope you've had a good day. If you've got any comments about travelling on your own, what your experience has been. Bear in mind, this is my first experience of a holiday on my own. So, if you've got any pearls of wisdom you'd like to share, please do in the comments below. As you know, I always answer every comment. So feel free to chat with me down below. All right, I hope you're having a lovely day. You take care, and I'll see you soon. Okay.